course it ends right. It ends with her welcoming Subaru to her, I guess, little world there with the necklace on. So again, as I said right in with the opening as well, right, she's clearly gonna be the main centerpiece. I think most of this season, yeah, it ends with her being like, "Hey guy, hey boy, wanna hang out? Yeah, wanna hang out." So I'm really looking forward to next week to see what it's all about, right? Definitely. But let's go back to them necklace. I mean, I was suspicious. I'm a paranoid. I'm paranoid personality trait. No, but I was like, as soon as I saw it, right? You go back and look at my reaction, right? But as soon as I saw it here, talking about in the reboot, as soon as I saw it, I was like, what is this necklace? I was like, I don't trust it for a second, right? As soon as he shows the necklace, I'm like, what is this necklace? Like, what is this necklace? I was like, I don't trust this at all. So yeah, that is suspicious to me. Like, why would she be the one giving the necklace? Says like, oh, it's gonna protect Emilia-chan. It's like, yeah, it didn't, maybe, yeah, and it sends Subaru to this other world, right? Immediately makes the whole maid household now then look infiltrated, like they are, traitors, right? And I felt that immediately when I saw it in the episode, I was like, I don't trust this thing at all. And it felt so strange to me. It really felt suspicious though, right? As I mentioned during the reaction part, it felt suspicious to me that why would this kind of random new maid they have be like, I have this necklace for you, Emilia, please put it on. It's not gonna be anything trap related at all, or like no, like take the necklace, please. So I don't know. I was expecting absolutely the necklace to be some kind of trap or some kind of lock or measurement or whatever. Yeah, it felt super suspicious, and clearly, of course, it was, I think. But it really begs the question then of why is she the maid? Is she infiltrating that thing? Is she working with the bad guys? That to me is more interesting. Right? Yeah, is she working with them then? See the opening too. She has like her hands glowing with the butterflies. She's gonna be involved somehow. But yeah, super suspicious, right? And she looks at leather. It's like maybe I should talk about leather. Yeah, so that seems to give a little bit. Can't trust this maid at all now. Definitely not. Certainly not. I was like, man, look at this nice necklace I have. Then I don't know. I feel there's a little bit. If I'm gonna be a little bit critiquing here on the episode, if I'm gonna be a little bit negative for once, not in this anime. But I mean, I will say this thing though. It felt very obvious, right? It felt very obvious in the last part of the episode that it was like, something is gonna happen in the forest. I mean, I laughed a little bit during the reaction because I felt like this to me, it's called plantation or like narrative plantation or whatever. It's I think they kind of overplayed this a little bit here in the anime, that we kept seeing the forest. This thing we kept seeing this like, look at this dark forest, look at this forest, look at this forest. Yeah, they kept showing this forest all the time, and then when they were like traveling in the cart, they kept showing this like forestry in the background through the window. And during that part then, you as the viewer, I think that was a little bad, honestly, in my opinion, because it takes me out of the immersion into the anime, because it's so obvious from a meta standpoint that something will happen here. So I think there was a little too much on this, right? Because I immediately think that there's gonna be an ambush, or that necklace, of course, is gonna explode or whatever. The necklace is gonna do something. So yeah, it was a little bit like, it was like too many screens of this forest being shown in this like dark. It's an ambush moment. So I think that was in my opinion it was a little too much, redundancy. Yeah, it gets a little redundant because you're like, well, obviously this forest is gonna be like a trap. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like obviously it's gonna have something's gonna happen. The necklace, super suspicious. It's probably gonna like explode or like freeze Emilia or something, right? So I can't be the only one looking at this forest being like, yeah, forest plus really suspicious necklace, it's gonna happen. So yeah, that to me was a little bit too much on the nose, I guess. I was just thinking immediately that okay, something's gonna happen here. Like it is way too much like that, right? What more happened in the episode? It was interesting that Beatrice got mad. Yeah, well, I mean, more than usual. More than usual. She flipped out on him. Yeah, more than usual. But the book is clearly important. The book is like super important. We really know that from Beetlejuice. The book, of course, very important. And yeah, I mean, it's clearly Beatrice touching the book in the end of the opening. Right? Like just before we see the evil smile in the opening, we see a hand touching that book in the opening, as I mentioned earlier, and that hand has the same color, of course, scheme as Beatrice red, like this red robe, right? Yeah, like, okay, anyway. Yeah. So yeah, it has the same red robe color, right, as her hand. So she's clearly the one grabbing the book, or touching the book at least, in the last panel there, right? It has to be her, as I said earlier. So that seems, of course, connected to what we see here. If we go back to the opening again, it's like the last second in the opening. Here it is, yeah. Like, it's clearly her, like, taking that book, right? So clearly the book is very important, as we already know, but yeah, like, clearly she wants the book, right? And she's like sundering Subaru. It's like, I want a book. Yeah, so that's very important, of course, that book there. It has a lot of magical powers, right? Could be a way for her to maybe fight the scenes, or maybe she's part of it. And yeah. I mean, Beatrice to me is always, man, that sounds so paranoid, but she's also like a suspicious character. But no, I think that book's gonna have a lot of secrets that you can utilize, right, to fight them perhaps, and maybe help Rem or something. Yeah, it looks very implied there. Definitely. But more happened though. I think the episode definitely was very different than the last week, because it's so much more comedy, right? Otto flying into Otto, doing teasing in the part. So I'm thinking what more happened. Well, yeah, okay. One thing I have to say again though, which I think is kind of funny, but it really is that Petra is like really trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm new Rem. It's like she's really trying to be like, please Subaru, I wanna be your new, best girl made out. Please take me, Subaru. She's super thirsty. Yeah, she really wants to be Rem. She looks kind of similar to Rem, and she's acting like, please Subaru-sama, I wanna be your new mate. Like, and I have to say, this scene though looks super weird. I can't. It's course I have a hentai mindset, right? So, excuse me for my hentai mind, but I have to say that she said like this. Is she? I mean, obviously she wants to give him like a handkerchief kind of thing, but it looks like she's like showing her skirt, right? It looks like she's like showing up, flashing. It looks like she's. Am I the only guy that thinks that it looks like she is like, like she's very, very thirsty? I can't be the only one seeing this thing, right? Like, it looks super suspicious. It looks super weird. Like she's lifting up her, yeah. But anyway, that is clearly a new thing here. That Petra is, or new thing, but she's a new Rem. She's a maid, and she's super into Subaru. She's super thirsty, and she wants to be like, please Subaru, take this thing and do this thing, and yeah. And we already saw it last episode. She was kind of, touching Subaru, and being like, Subaru-sama, please. Yeah, so she's trying to take over Beskar Ram's kitchen there, straight up. Definitely. But yeah, overall a good episode, more funny though, and I'm really looking forward to next week. We're gonna see what's all about, right? And as I said, in the opening, Alpha and Omega, right? The new evil lady she's both the last part and the first part of the opening. So she's clearly very important. Yeah, she's clearly very important. So I'm looking forward to next week and see. Hopefully she's gonna explain her, I don't know, role and motivation and what she's doing and so on, and we really get some more, contextualized on what actually she's about, right? But anyway, that's the series. So guys, press the like button. I'm thinking of maybe doing Decadence. I don't know. Decadence was like completely dead last week. I don't know if anyone cares about it. But anyway, see you guys. Have a good day. Subscribe, press the like button, right, and so on. And yeah, have a good day.